Hey up guys! So today on the channel I'm going to be reviewing the new comedic crime caper from Barnaby Thompson, Pixie, which was actually written by Barnaby Thompson's son, Preston. The film follows a young Irish woman called Pixie, played by Olivia Cooke, who's out for vengeance for the death of her mother and finds herself in the middle of a drug war between gangsters and priests. She teams up with two hapless local lads called Frank and Harland, played by Hardy and Daryl McCormack, as they try and sell a bag of drugs which came into their possession and get out of Dodge. This film had me at Gangsters versus Priests. As soon as I heard that, I was on board. I was very excited to watch it. And while I had a fun enough time watching Pixie, it didn't knock my socks off in the way that I thought it would. I guess the reason why this film wasn't working for me is that it never really felt certain of what it wanted to be. It's a genre blend of black comedy, thriller, heist film, and even a little bit western. The film actually opens with a title card that says, "Once Upon a Time in the West, Ellipses of Ireland," which I found quite playful. But when it comes to fusing these genre elements with the story, it never really felt cohesive or fully realized. The influences are abundantly clear. You've got nods to Quentin Tarantino, Guy Ritchie, Martin McDonagh. There's even a sprinkle of Edgar Wright. And I say sprinkle because of the 99p ice cream cones that you see throughout this film. They're not cornettos, but they might as well be. And I guess that's what bothered me about Pixie. It kept reminding me of other films which Pixie itself was trying to emulate. So it feels like a copy of lots of other different films. I will say I did enjoy the performances of its three central characters, particularly Olivia Cooke. She did a very good job of nailing the Irish accent. In fact, I think it was spot on, and she's also a very likable leading lady. And the same goes with Ben Hardy and Dylan McCormack. They were a great buddy pairing, and together as a threesome, which is almost an in-joke to something that happens later in the movie, they had a lovely chemistry and they all complemented each other really nicely. I was also quite impressed with the cinematography by John de Boorman. There were lots of shots in this which I found very striking and dynamic. He definitely provides the atmosphere and style of the film. The problem with Pixie though is that the story is quite weak. There's scenes in this film which are quite frankly unnecessary and pointless. Like this scene where they stop to get petrol and Frank sits on this bench next to an altar boy and starts talking to him about eating pussy. It's one of those scenes which probably sounded better on paper than it is in execution, because I barely laughed at this scene. The most amusing thing about it was just the fact that there was an altar boy on this random road. The juxtaposition of that is quite funny, but yeah, it didn't really build to anything. There wasn't really any payoff. Because at first, I thought maybe it'll come back around later in the film. Like, we might see the altar boy again and there'll be some sort of payoff to the joke, but it just never came. It feels like there was a missed opportunity there. As for other negatives, there's also some far-fetched behavior of some of the characters in certain scenes. There's a scene where some characters are hiding from these priests in this church, and they're hiding in this church confessional, which seems like, you know, a reasonable place to check when you're looking for people inside the church, but no one actually bothers to look inside the confessional. I'm just like, okay. Again, it just feels far-fetched. And the final showdown where we see this slow-motion gunfight between the priests and the gangsters just feels overdone and outdated and anticlimactic. So let's ask them three questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Honestly, probably not. It's not like I hated this film whilst I was watching it, but I was just constantly reminded of other films which I love a lot more. It was fun one time, but probably wouldn't be fun a second time. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Ooh, I softly recommend it. It's not a film that I would push on anybody, but it does have its moments where it's entertaining. If you don't expect too much from it, you probably will enjoy it. However, it doesn't come close to the entertainment levels of the films it's so clearly inspired by. And question number 3, what score do I give out of 10? A muddled mix of heist thriller, black comedy, and western, which never seems sure of itself or its message, but it has its entertaining moments and a likable cast, so I'm gonna give Pixie a score of 4.5 out of 10. But as always guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. I want to hear from you guys. Have you seen Pixie? What did you make of it? Love it? disappointed by it? Whatever you have to say, do let me know in that comment section down below. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want more movie and TV content just like this, don't forget to click subscribe. And if you want to follow me on any social media, Twitter, Instagram, or Letterboxd, all those links are in the video description down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Carefield, and I'll see you next time.